Okay, when you're using one of the blue tripods, and these are our most basic tripods, but they're good, they're sturdy. Manfrotto is the manufacturer. They are not a cheap company. They're very good. They're known for their reliability, their sturdiness, and how portable they are. But anyway, when you are ready to use one of these, you're going to come back here and grab one off the shelf. You will never leave a tripod just laying around. When you're done with it, you'll bring it back over here where it belongs, and you will collapse it like it is when you take it off the shelf. So I'm going to show you how to get the tripod expanded, set up, and ready to go. Easiest way to start using the tripod, first of all, make sure there's a plate on there. That's what connects it to the camera. Just open it up like this. Okay, this is how you adjust your spin around and your tilt, okay? To make this taller, very easy to do. Easiest way is to take the top clamp and release it. Once you release those locks, then go ahead and pull the legs down until they cannot go any farther. Okay, then pull apart the tripod legs and then go ahead and lock each leg so that way your tripod does not collapse on you when you're using it. Make sure it's all pulled apart the widest, and then you should be ready to go. It's not too tall. As you can see, it's pretty short here, but you can make it taller. To make it even taller, take the bottoms, okay, and release those. Now, you probably won't need it to be this tall, but I'm just showing you as tall as the tripod goes. Once you have them all even, okay, pulled out, lock them. And then you can see how tall the tripod goes once you expand it out here. Now, if you step back and look, that whole thing is really crooked. You don't want your tripod to be crooked. So this is where you need to learn how to adjust that and everything and see what legs need to be adjusted. First of all, make sure everything comes out like that, okay? Maybe the legs are not out the whole way here. Okay, I'm fast forwarding this part because it's boring to watch, but I'm just adjusting these and making sure they're pulled out the whole way and at the same length, and then tightening them up. All right, now this is looking a lot better. Now it's always good to widen or extend the legs, the 3 legs here, just to keep it more secure. Now to make it even taller than that, you can go ahead and raise the top bar on it. You would just loosen that, lefty-loosey to do that, pull it up. Don't pull it up too much or it's going to come out, and then tighten it to lock it. And that's how you make it as tall as you can. Basic filming around the school, you're probably going to need it to be shorter than that. So to collapse it, do this, watch your fingers though. You don't want that slamming down on you. And then probably going to need these to come down a little bit. And again, you want to be even with it. You want to make sure that everything is level. Some of these tripods have a built-in level, some of them don't. But the goal of this is to be able to open and collapse a tripod pretty quickly and have it set up and ready to go. Okay, and again, if you do this and you see that it's as crooked as that, you need to do some work to your tripod. And just step back and eyeball it to see if it is level or not. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Next step is going to be mounting a camera on there. Okay, so this is definitely going to feel awkward the first few times you do it. That's why you're given as much time to practice. And that is also why you're going to practice on these little cheap, old, broken cameras, because you are going to be tightening in the mount. And as you're doing that, you know, these little threads could get worn out. I'm not too worried about wearing out the threads in our broken cameras, but whenever we're using our 4K cameras, you'll know what you're doing. That's why you're going to be using the practice just for now. Okay, to get to the practice cameras, go over to computer 5. The cabinet is labeled video cameras. The practice cameras are 1, 2, 3, 4, or on the next shelf, A, B, C, D, E. You will not be using the Canon 4K or the Sony 4K for practice. These are brand new cameras, so you will not be using those until you have already practiced using the equipment. Okay, if you look inside the bags, you will find that there are 2 cameras per bag, and they're labeled. Everything goes back in the bag whenever you're done. These do not power on. They do not record. They're just practice for mounting so that we don't wear out the threads for our actual cameras. But as you can see, they're labeled, they're numbered, they have a green dot, just showing that they go back into the green cabinet. But anyway, this quick release plate you can see right here, needs to come off so that it can attach to here. So to release it, just do that. And it has been released. Now you want to make sure that you are following the diagram that points to a lens. So you would either go that way or this way whenever you mount it on. So this is your lens, okay, that's the part that records. You want to make sure that this is pointing to lens, which it is. You just put that on there, and again, it feels weird at first, but you take that clamp and you just tighten it. Now you don't want to tighten it too much because then if it gets too tight, it's really hard to take that off. But just enough so that way it's really not going anywhere with just a little bit of force. So now what we want to do is mount that on like we did earlier without a camera. Make sure it's secure. It is secure. Okay, now this is ready to be used for filming. Now this can be tight, sometimes too tight. If you loosen this part up right here, it gives it a very loose rotate. If you tighten it up, then it's really stiff. So you don't want to tighten it too much. You want to find a good happy medium. That's the whole point of that. Now all of these moving parts here on the tripod do different things. You're just going to need to do the basic swivel. This over here adjusts how loose that angle is, that tilt. You don't want it too loose because as you can see, the tension's just letting it come back. You don't want it too tight either because then it's going to be real stiff and hard to move. So it's all about finding that happy medium and knowing what all of these things do. This one right here raises the center bar. Okay. There we go. And if you were to be using this as an actual camera, which is you're not, but that's how you could angle your camera around. So if you have it up real high, you can actually see it. Now, if you step back and look and things look like they're crooked, then go ahead and adjust. It's all about having a nice level tripod. And stepping back, this is actually looking pretty good. Now, to take all this off here, close it up, quick release, take this off. Remember, we did not over tighten it. So I put a marker on here so that you would know that back part is what rests up against the release part of the tripod. So that rests on the little gold part of this tripod. I'm going to put this plate back on. There we go. Now when you're done with the tripod, you need to be able to quickly put it back down to its smallest. So I usually do this. It's okay if you need to be on the ground for this. Start with the top. And then you can just take the bottom and push up. When they're all done, lock them in place. Okay, same thing with the bottom clamps. Lower the centerpiece. You might need to bring those out, tighten it. And now it's ready to be put back on the shelf for the next person to use.